Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning. I'm the master taster of Whisky.com, and today we have the Balvenie American Oak Sweet Toast, 12 years of age. Here in my cask, it's priced around 60. This is a little bit more expensive than the regular 12-year-old double wood. So this is a little bit more special than the double wood. This Balvenie is part of the Balvenie Stories, and this is a story about a malt master apprentice called Kelsey McKechnie, and she should create a fruity and sweet Balvenie single malt, and so she imported a fresh white oak cask from Kentucky, and then they burned it twice or toasted it twice and filled it then with Balvenie from ex-bourbon casks. So you have a ex-bourbon cask matured Balvenie finished in fresh American white oak barrels, and we'll see what this will lead to. There are several malt whiskies in these Balvenie Stories, and you have to look after them. Hopefully you find them somewhere, and then there is the full story of the people and places helped to make the sweet toast of American oak. So there's this small paper on top of this. Open it so all the complete capsule goes off, no problem. Oops. Typical malt whiskey, I would say. Now have a look at this. A delicious, sweet, rich and fruity variation of the Balvenie, created by finishing the whiskey in twice toasted virgin American oak barrels. So what do we expect from this? Fresh casks deliver a lot of more aromas than used casks. So the typical Balvenie uses a finishing. So the double wood has ex-bourbon barrels and as well as ex-sherry barrels, casks, so that you have a mixed whiskey. Then there had been these single casks with an age of 15 years, which were typically ex-bourbon cask maturation, so you can feel the ex-bourbon cask influence in the Balvenies. And here we have now this American oak, fresh American oak, with this sweet toast. Why sweet? Well, if you're toasting the celluloses of the wood, then you cut them into sugars, and those sugars caramelize during the process, because when you're toasting above 150 degrees centigrade, and then the caramelization process from sugar to caramel takes place, and this leads to a kind of sweetness. Not a real sweetness, because caramel isn't sweet as caramel. If you're mixing it with sugar for making fudge or candy cream or whatever, then it's sweet, definitely. But caramel itself isn't that sweet, but your mind associates some sweetness with that caramel. So that's the theory, and have a smell on this one. It's a malt whiskey, definitely. Then I have the distillery character with some citrus notes. The older the whiskies become at Balvenie, the more you get this orange, juicy character. Then there is oakiness, light spiciness, more spiciness, ginger probably. But I'm lacking the caramel and the sweetness. But that typically comes after the tasting of the whiskey. Then whenever you swallow, the aromas rise through the back of your mouth up to the nose and to the roof of your mouth, and then the brain says, well, you swallowed that, that had to be good. And then all the thoughts start, and you feel it very, very good, and probably you make some sweet out of that. Yeah, cheers. Sweet, juicy, sweet. Citrus goes over to oranges, as we know from Balvenie. And then you swallow, and then you have this ginger spiciness. It's 43% ABV. So it's not the alcohol which burns here, it's the ginger. And probably there's some cinnamon in it. I like cinnamon very much. Yeah. And the spicy oakiness is in the back. Yeah. Rich, full aftertaste with a little more espresso note, or cappuccino, no, espresso note in the aftertaste than I expected from American White Oak. Yeah. So this one is different to the typical Balvenies. You have this 12-year-old double wood, or the 25-year-old, or the Caribbean cask. They are different. So this one is definitely on the oak side. Yeah, more oaky notes now, more ginger, spicy undertone, together with the typical distillery character of citrus and oranges. Yeah. Wow, more hefty than I thought. Because American White Oak typically is very smooth. Yeah. Thank you for today. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. There's more to come.